Good morning to you. This is Mark Sudduth, and here's what's up in the tropics for Friday, June the 10th, 2022. In the Atlantic Basin, no new tropical cyclones are expected during the next 5 days. Can't put it any simpler than that. Nice and quiet is the name of the game here as we go into the weekend. So if you have travel plans to any coastal areas, no worries over the next several days. In the Eastern Pacific, while we don't have anything to be concerned about immediately, we do have this area of a high probability of development off the southern coast of Mexico there. Don't know exactly where this is going to end up or how strong it will be, so we'll just continue to monitor it, and you folks in Mexico there certainly should do the same. It's going to be a slow process. Conditions are favorable, but they're not ideal in this part of the Pacific Basin. All right, so there's the vorticity signature, and you can see things coming together down there off the coast of Mexico gradually, a little bit more spin in the atmosphere, a little bit more energy trying to bundle up. Satellite animation here, courtesy of Tropical Tidbits. Interesting that there's no mention from any of the outlooks, whether the Central Pacific or the Eastern Pacific, of this blob of clouds pretty close to the equator, between 5 and 10 degrees north latitude. That's pretty far south. You know, nobody's out there. There's no land masses nearby. It's not even near Hawaii. So, I guess no worries. But this is the area that we're going to be watching right here. A little bit more concentrated area of clouds, showers, and thunderstorms. But again, it's a slow process. Conditions, like I said, are favorable, but they're not perfect. So this will be a gradual process as we watch that system slowly come together in the Eastern Pacific. Meanwhile, looking at the Atlantic satellite imagery, an interesting tropical wave way down in the right-hand corner of the satellite animation, just coming off Africa, pretty low latitude, but it's also quite vigorous, a lot of deep convection or thunderstorm activity. Nothing to be concerned with it, but I think it's a sign of what will be coming, especially as we get into August and beyond. The rest of the Atlantic, nice and quiet. Strong upper-level winds generally prevail, along with the abundance of dry air. Take a look at that huge complex of thunderstorms coming through Arkansas this morning. That is a mesoscale convective complex, just a group of thunderstorms, a huge group, similar to a tropical wave, but not exactly the same mechanisms. Sometimes those can make it to the Gulf or the Atlantic and develop. I don't see too much in the way of indication of that right now, but you never ignore systems like that as they traverse the lower 48, the North American continent, and they head towards water. You just never know. All right, looking at the GFS here, 6Z run from this morning. There's our system gradually coming together in the Pacific to the south of the Mexican coastline. This particular run of the GFS brings it inland really quickly, so we'll have to see how that evolves. A big rain threat for sure with that system. Beyond that, it'll just have to be a wait-and-see situation in terms of what other impacts you would expect in Mexico and exactly where those impacts would occur. In the Atlantic, again, nice and quiet here. The GFS, 850 millibar level of the atmosphere, not showing us anything to be too concerned with over the next 5 days, so that is good news there. All right, I'll go over all of these details and more in my Hurricane Outlook and discussion video later this afternoon. You can catch that exclusively on YouTube and Facebook. Again, I am Mark Sudduth for HurricaneTrack. This has been What's Up in the Tropics. I'll be back with more for you tomorrow.